All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are competing here at the Kings Speedway in Hanford, California with the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Check out the blue sky, nice and warm here at the Kings Speedway. Here's an up close look at the track. There's one prediction I can get right to start today's show, and this place is probably gonna be pretty slick this evening. Like I said, between the temperatures, 40 plus 410 sprint cars, all signs are showing probably for a smooth and wide surface. Hanford, as you can see behind me, they just kind of been throwing a little bit of water on it, but I don't think it's gonna hold up too much. It's common for this place to get right on the edge and almost push like a cushion over the top, and then if you're gonna run the bottom, you gotta run right around that infield berm. So this place can for sure get tricky, and it's easy to end up in like a no man's land in the middle and not make a lot of speed there. Some guys can do it, but the majority, you almost can kind of get like hung out to dry. So we're racing tonight with High Limit. All the best drivers are in town, as well as all the California locals. Of course, we're hoping to rebound after what happened yesterday at Tulare. That is now behind us. Today is a new day, and if you remember, the last time we were at Kings Speedway with our 360, we parked it in Victory Lane. So we'd definitely like to repeat that success here today. Alright guys, well our night has got underway here at Kings Speedway. We didn't qualify very good. I think we might have been last or second to last in our group. A lot of good cars, like I said. Racetrack was, man, it was interesting. Very choppy in spots, kind of a choppy cushion, slick too, but you had to, like the only guys that were going really fast, if you could just lean into it and be brave and really put it, you know, just run as hard as you could basically. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm frustrated after my lap, just because I think right now, after what happened yesterday and the track kind of being like that, like I felt like I'm just a little screwed up. And qualifying's the toughest, because that's when you're not in race mode where you're kind of running all over. You have to go, and you can't be like that. But it's just like, you know, that happened along then too. We had a small issue in hot laps. I think it was fuel pump related anyway, so the engine didn't start right away. So like my whole qualifying just got screwed up, and that's not making an excuse or nothing. That's just like, hey, like I didn't really do my job. I don't feel super comfortable in this car as well. Like everything just doesn't feel good, and it makes it tough, especially when you have more of a place like that where, you know, you're on the edge to qualify. So really sucks. We're gonna move into the heat race here though. We just got to try to really put this behind us. Yeah, like I said, just so dang frustrating, and yeah, I don't know. So we just need to try to go out there and make some good laps and just try to work in the right direction. I think a couple good laps, then you kind of shake everything off and you're good to go. But after something like, you know, what happened, it just makes it a little bit difficult. So anyway, we're going to be heading out. I don't know where we're going to start, but I'm sure we're going to be in an early heat race, and we got to try to move forward. So put some tear-offs on. We'll try to go past some cars. originally scheduled to start 11th there. I think maybe one car scratched, so we started 10th. Someone flew off the track on the first lap, so then we got moved to 9th and ended up finishing there. Maybe could add 8th. 7th wasn't too far in front of that. But man, what a 180 for the racetrack. It was kind of all around the top. They went out there in the break right before our heats went, kind of tilled up the, not tilled the bottom up, but like stirred it up. And like this is my helmet. I actually already cleaned a bunch of mud off, but pulled quite a few tear-offs just starting that far back. Kind of hard to see visibility wise. In the racetrack, everyone kind of just ended up being more follow the leader around the bottom. So I mean, my race car in that sense didn't feel, I felt better, felt a little more comfortable, but like I said, everyone's so close in pace, and I don't know, I said you just can't be starting that far back. I mean, I feel like we've had this conversation, you know, we've had these conversations. You guys know how wing sprint car racing is. It's really hard to come from the back of a heat race, hard to come from the back of anything, between dirty air and the lines and the track surface, everything kind of has to come together. So I don't think our race car was, it didn't feel as much of a struggle as qualifying, but we'll just kind of keep working on it, seeing what happens. I mean, if you were to go walk over, like I said, it looks like we just got done wheel packing. It's so muddy. So yeah, just tough so far at Hanford. Hopefully the racetrack kind of continues to build some character, not character actually, I don't know if we want that, but continues to kind of figure itself out and build kind of a wide surface where we can pass, and hopefully slows down a little bit and kind of gets rid of some of that chop that's on top of it. So a good C main there for us. We snuck from 3rd to 2nd and transferred. Before that, you know, I mean, obviously wanted to transfer there, but main thing was just telling myself, like, go out and make the best laps you can. Like, make some valuable laps, figure it out, have some good feedback, and we were able to sneak through. So that was the best I felt all night with this car. We kind of, you know, we just worked on some things that we haven't really touched in, you know, uncharted territory. So we're getting ready to head out now for the B. We're going to be starting last. We got nothing to lose here, so try a little bit more, keep pushing our car, and try to get it comfortable for me. right, so I don't know where we finished there in the B. I know we passed a couple cars kind of on the start, and then after that everyone single filed out pretty good. The track's just kind of back to qualifying again. It's just so fast around the top, and there's not as much on the bottom, and even to like slide someone, you have to almost have forward momentum, and they got to be going backwards on the straightaway, and then you just got to throw what we call a Hail Mary into the corner to clear them. So anyway, we passed a couple cars. I felt okay, kind of similar to the C main. The hardest part in the B is then I was kind of in traffic, so you know, you're going slower. You could use the word dirty air, even though this place isn't huge with aerodynamics and stuff, but dirty air of just being behind other cars and everyone's pace kind of being a little different. But I think more than anything, the small victory tonight with us having some issues with this car early is we just made the car more drivable there in the C and the B. So that feels good, because it's very defeating when you feel like you can't drive your race car, your car's driving you. It's very hard to go fast, and at these California tracks, that's kind of when you get yourself in trouble. You tip over, you crash, because they're so, I don't even know if the word's technical, they have so much character. You know, they're rough, they're choppy, they're uneven, and they're fast, and they got grip. So you know, you're not just out there off the gas, you got to mash it and figure out how to make speed, and usually you just got to go through it and make your car to where it can do so. So obviously we would have liked to be in the A-main event tonight. We would have liked to have just a better weekend overall than what we've had, but and it's been hard on me, you know, my confidence, I'm not gonna lie, and just trying to be in the right headspace and figure out like, all right, what do we need to do, what have we not done yet, go back to looking at notes, you know, and then like I said, you know, realizing too that this car is unique and it's going to take something different just because of how it's handled, you know, in our Midwest trip and then now here. So that just is what it is. Right now it's all we got at our current moment until we're back to the shop, so we have to kind of just work with it if we want to race. So that part's frustrating, but it's also part of the game, and I think it's what makes you better as a team in the long run. Doesn't feel like that now, but anyway, so that's our night at Hanford. Glad the car's in one piece. You know, didn't tear anything up. Kind of got the wall there at the end of the B, but you know, just kind of running hard and trying to give it all I had to just feel better, and as I mentioned, make the best laps that I could. So they just were shutting the lights off as I was kind of coming up here to the track. Wanted to show you the surface here at Hanford. It was a difficult one tonight. If you watch kind of all the cars, almost looks like some guys were riding a bucking Bronco. There was one way around the track majority of the night besides the heat races, but later, and that was the high side. You had to have your right rear right up here in it. Like I said, you had to try to get through the rough as good as you could. No one could really make the bottom work. There just wasn't any grip or anything to hold you. And then on top of that, the berm kind of drags like sand out. And so guys just you just couldn't make any speed down here. Wanted to finish off today's show. I'd be lying if I said that these haven't been a difficult 48 hours, man. You know, wanted to get our West Coast swing started off on the right foot. You know, I felt like we ran well at the end of our Midwest trip. We showed speed at Knoxville. Obviously, that's a different beast than what is out here. And obviously, we have experience in laps out here, but I just feel like we've had just like the order of events and in some of our equipment. And like I said, you know, and then some of how that's worked with me, like just everything as it went in a circle with our operation the last 2 days, and that's just how it goes sometimes. But what's important is we just have to keep digging. You have to keep plugging away. The second you sit down and give up, that's when you officially lose. And in this sport, man, it's tough. It'll beat you up. And it's interesting too, when these national series come out here, you kind of see a mix of results. Obviously all the top guys were really fast, but you know, I mean, there were some locals that ran well because this is kind of their thing. Like, I think that everyone just kind of gets more spread out throughout the field. You see some full-time guards that were right there in the B main with us. The caliber of these fields are just incredible, and if you have a surface more like tonight where more one lane, I would say difficult to pass, obviously qualifying's everything, but it just makes it even that much more cutthroat and more desperation trying to pass, and passes that aren't maybe going to work. And like I said, that's all just part of the sport. So you have nights like that. Anyway, just want to thank you all for being a part of our journey. I know it's not always the most glorious, but as I always say, we don't stop. We don't give up. We're going to keep digging, and we're just going to keep putting that much effort. You know, all my crew, my family give it 110%, and sometimes even when you give it 110% in life, the outcome feels disastrous or terrible, but that's also part of it. Sometimes you're going to give it 110% and things are going to go exactly how you want it, and you're going to be at the top. So anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to keep at it. We'll see you in the next video. Deuces.